The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii. Welcome to Think Tech Wednesday on the Think Tech radio series on AM 760 KGU, broadcasting across the islands and raising public awareness in Hawaii. Now here's your host, Jay Fidel.
Thank you, Jack Waters. This is Jay Fidel at Think Tech. Here we are live in Pioneer Plaza on a given Wednesday, and we're doing Hawaii, the state of clean energy. It's perfect. And with me is Ray Starling, my co-host and a progenitor of this program. Why don't you say hello, just like a progenitor would say hello, Ray?
Hello, Jay. I'm glad to be here.
Perfect. Okay. And we have Derek Sonoda from Hawaii Energy. Derek, you say hello.
Good afternoon, and I'm glad to be here.
Nicely done. Okay, and we have Veronica Roca. Did I say that right?
Yes, that's perfect. Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here, as it was to have you guys, at least Ray and Veronica, on the Clean Energy Day program at Laniakea last Friday. That was great.
It was fabulous.
You want to take a moment to talk about that program, Ray?
Actually, there was a lot that went on there. We had good briefings in the morning about everything energy-wise for the state. And then we focused on transportation in the afternoon, and that's where we heard Veronica. And transportation was a big missing piece of the energy puzzle that the Policy Forum decided to add into the mix, and I'm glad we did. We really, I learned a lot, and I'm anxious to get more done with transportation.
Yeah, I just submitted a movie to OC16 about that program. So if anybody wants to see it, they didn't see it already, there's a movie on OC16. It premieres at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, and it plays 7 times on OC16. After it's finished playing on OC16, we'll post it on YouTube. And we also have the sound file. We'll probably post the sound file. The sound file is in entirety. It has all the dulcet tones that you ever came up with, Ray. It's quite impressive.
How long is this movie?
The movie is 28 minutes and 30 seconds, but the sound file is the entire duration.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
And you're on everything too. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess the first up here, since we're putting ourselves into the mantle of energy here today, is Derek Sonoda. He's going to talk about what's going on at Hawaii Energy, and specifically about the workshops. I guess when you say workshops, you mean for the public?
Yes, in fact, from Hawaii Energy's viewpoint, our mission is to incentivize plus educate. And the education component of it has always been technical in nature, helping businesses and everything else. In recent years, we've expanded that. And the way we expanded it was to reach out to community. And you'll be amazed, Jay, at how much of the community does not understand electricity. When they hear energy, they only think electricity, and electricity comes out of the outlet. No one has ever explained this term to them or what it is. No one has ever explained their electric bill. No one has explained anything. So when they hear things in the media and when they hear your show, most of these people don't understand what's going on. And a lot of the local style is not to ask because they feel like they're the only ones who don't understand. So we've been doing something called Sharing the Aloha. And we've been doing this for 2 years now.
Oh, you've been doing it all your life.
So Sharing the Aloha, what we do is we found this awesome lady. She's a mother from Nanakuli who has been teaching financial literacy for over 15 years. And we've asked her to come and help educate the population about electricity and energy. And for 2 years, she has reached over 5,000 people spread across the state, and she goes to them, and she does these community outreach from church groups to clubs to low-income housing projects, and it is magical when she goes there. All of a sudden, the world of energy opens up to them, and they're no longer afraid to engage in conversation. Mm-hmm. So this is why there's been so few voices when you look at the population speaking to energy, because they don't understand this world. No one has bothered to explain to them what a kilowatt hour is, but yet they're held accountable to reduce their kilowatt hours, but they have never seen a kilowatt hour.
You are so right about this.
Yeah.
Was this your idea, Derek?
I wish it was, but I think it was my boss's.
Okay, Ray. So, the thing about it's a tipping point, right? And the public doesn't know, but little by little the public's getting to know. And that was the discussion at the last hour with David Jung of EcoCabs. That the public is finally getting the idea, the community's finally, we seem to be approaching a tipping point where actually people will want to do this in their daily lives.
But I would like to invite
Yeah.
community to come to the hawaiienergy.com website
Yeah.
and look where our workshops are held.
Yeah.
They are free.
Yeah.
When you go there, you'll get literature, booklets
Yeah.
that are all based upon local Hawaii experiences. So people born and raised will get it. From the kapunas all the way to the
What
young, they get
messages
it.
specifically do you want to leave them with?
What I want to call, if you have a group, an organization, a club or membership of 50 or more, yeah, that you can get together and gather them for us, we will come and we'll send this wonderful lady, her name is Helen White from Nanakuli, to come in and share this with you. I promise you one thing, when you invite her and she comes in, you'll feel like she's a part of your family. She is wonderful. So
What
I
about
invite
you, Derek? Are you teaching the workshops also?
You know, I come out
Because if
and
you're not, I want to talk to Ray about that. See if we can get you involved. Eh?
but you know, I'm just one guy. But when we have Helen, she is just amazing. You know, last year in 1 year time period, she put together 91 workshops through community trust relationships. And once you do this, it is the most powerful way of communicating these important policy decisions that are being held in front of everyone, that they can now understand and engage and be a part of the solution. So she's recently engaging with Lanai, and you'll be amazed how much discussions have been about wind, but the general population has no clue. And so she's bringing this information, this wonderful information to them.
Okay, good for you guys. You have something every week, don't you, Ray?
Every week, it's our Negawatt moment.
Okay, that's what you listened to just now, the Negawatt Moment with Derek Sonoda, who is he's one of your best spokesmen. But actually, you have tons of good spokesmen down there. And spokeswomen.
Tons probably gets it.
Okay, which brings me to the point of telling everybody that, you know, you can listen to Think Tech Hawaii and Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday on KGU 760 AM, but you can also watch it, okay, on Ustream.tv and on internet radio, which is Spreaker.com, and you can get links for all those on ThinkTechHawaii.com. So you can see exactly what Derek looks like, you know.
Yeah.
I know, it's so scary.
The emotive power of the
I'm so
state.
sorry about that, general public. You know, I thought I was going to do some radio because they say I have a face for radio. I didn't expect video on the radio.
We fool people.
Oh, you do a good job.
And you'll be on YouTube forever.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God. Okay, let's move on. Just to get people familiar with who you are, Veronica, you're with DBED. What do you do at DBED in the energy office in DBED there?
Sure. I run the renewable energy branch. Basically, our group is responsible for really leading the state's policies and initiatives, removing barriers so that we can have more renewable energy here in our islands.
Okay. Ooh, you know, you are at the center. After all, the energy administrator is right there in DBED. That's the white hot spot right there.
Absolutely.
And you get to see Ray from time to time?
You know, I don't.
We really haven't seen much of each other, but now
I'll
that
give you an 8x10 glossy. Okay?
I need that.
Signed,
I
if you
need
don't
that.
mind.
I imagine that you work more with the energy efficiency group. So Carolyn Shawn, she's our other
Right,
branch chief for
right.
energy efficiency,
Right.
also part of the Hawaii State Energy Office.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, Veronica, how did you get into this job? I mean, I think many people out there would like to have your job, so you might as well tell them.
I'm a very lucky lady, absolutely. I started my career in Silicon Valley. I have an engineering degree, and I also have an MBA. When I came to Hawaii, I was...
You seem so young. Anyway, go
I'm
ahead.
not. I'm much older than you think. I wanted to continue working in technology and innovation and doing something that was positive for the community. Back in Silicon Valley, I was working in the medical device industry. And then here in Hawaii, what made the most sense for me was renewable energy. I really believe in the state's mission to get more renewable energy to achieve energy independence for our state. So that's what inspired me to pursue renewable energy. And through some contacts and through some effort, I came to know Richard Lim and Mark Glick, both at the Hawaii State Energy Office and DBED, of course.
Oh, okay. Now, we're going to talk today about one of the things you're doing. I'm sure you're doing more than one, but and we call the show a new app for charging stations in Hawaii. Now, one of the big bugaboos for electric vehicles is there aren't enough charging stations. And you hear a lot of political statements about how there's going to be a lot of charging stations, but this is like one of those great political questions. How many charging stations are there?
We have 350 charging ports.
What's a port?
A port. That's a great question. So the best analogy is when you go to gas up your car. Do you have an internal combustion engine vehicle? You do. Okay.
I sure do. My wife does too. For the near term, that'll be the way it is. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. That's okay. A lot of people do. You get to that box where it has multiple handles. Each one of those handles, you can consider it a port, and each one of those boxes, you can consider it a charging station. So that would be the equivalent analogy for the charging stations for electric vehicles. So we have about 350 ports throughout the state.
How many are fast and how many are slow? They got, what, 3 levels? What are the 3 levels, and how many are in each category?
Yeah, that's a great
If
question.
you know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, then make it up.
I can make it up. I can tell you that the majority of the chargers that we have are level 1 or level 2 fast chargers. They typically take a few hours to get your car from 0 charge all the way to 100%. One of the, we have about, I want to say maybe a dozen, if that, fast charging, and these are charging stations that can get your car from 0 to about 80% in 30 minutes. And you know, whenever you want to discuss a little bit further, there's been a lot of action, not only with regards to this new electric vehicle application that we just released last week, as well as some new policies to get more electric vehicle fast charging stations here in Hawaii.
So this is more than just a charging station app for your iPhone. Today we're going to discuss policy as well.
I'm happy
you know, ThinkTech loves to discuss policy.
Yeah, I'm happy to give you a glimpse as to those 2 new policies that were just approved by the PUC not too long ago, about a week ago. So they're fairly fresh.
That's Veronica Roca. She's with DBED in the energy office there. She's working on charging stations. She has lots of degrees. She is very smart. She is here with us at Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. We also have Ray Starling, one of the progenitors of the show. He's from Hawaii Energy. He is Hawaii Energy. Another progenitor is DBED, and the third progenitor is Hawaiian Electric Company, so we're happy with that. And we have Derek Sonoda, who is here, and we're going to give him the opportunity to ask Veronica some cross-examination questions right after this break. This is ThinkTech. We'll be right back after this break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
No problems going to the windward side, but over in Kailua, we do have an accident to Mokapu Boulevard at Oneava. The drive east to Hawaii Kai is fine on the freeway and on Kalani on Ole Highway. Going west isn't too bad, but the H1 is getting busy at the Hickam Curve, and the Moana Lewis slows at the top of Red Hill. Inbound traffic from the west slows at the Middle Street merge. It's slow to Ward Avenue.
Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, is also brought to you by Hawaiian Electric Company, powering the growth and development of Hawaii since it was chartered by King Kalakaua in 1891. Today, Hawaiian Electric and its subsidiaries, Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company, serve more than 95% of our state, providing reliable electric service essential to our quality of life. The Hawaiian Electric companies are also leading our transition to clean energy. By increasing our renewable energy use and improving energy efficiency, we're reducing Hawaii's dependence on imported oil and providing a more sustainable and secure future for Hawaii. For more information, visit hawaiisenergyfuture.com. Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, is also brought to you by the State Energy Office, a of the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism. How can we secure a better future for Hawaii? One way is clean energy, and the State Energy Office is steering Hawaii to that clean energy future. Hawaii is rich with natural renewable resources, the sun, the wind, the ocean, and the land, and they are all being tapped to meet Hawaii's clean energy initiatives to generate electricity, create jobs, spur economic growth, and reduce our dependence on imported foreign oil. To learn more, visit energy.hawaii.gov.
Now back to Think Tech Wednesday on AM 760 KGU. Here once again is your host, Jay Fidel.
Thank you, Jack Waters. Thank you, Leo Rodriguez, our board operator. And thank you, Patrick Leonard, our KGU account manager. We appreciate your help on our show. That's Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. Today, we're calling it a new app for charging stations in Hawaii, but I think it really means more than that. With Veronica Roca of DBED, and we have our co-host, Ray Starling, and we have our kibitzer, may I say that? Derek Sonoda.
You can say anything you need to say, as long as they sell tickets.
So, Veronica, let's go a little further before we let Derek ask you the cross-examination questions, okay?
Yeah.
So here we are. And you guys somehow came into an app that works on iPhone and also Android, am I right?
That's correct.
iPads and Android pads and all that. So what is this app and how did you find it and what?
Yeah, those are all great questions. So
especially the what?
Especially the what. That was my favorite. There's a coordinated dance that people on radio cannot see. But we wanted to develop this app, I want to say about a year ago. And the reason why is because although there are apps for specific charging facilities, vendors have their own applications, they exclude everybody else. So what we wanted to do was have a one-stop shop application that would capture all of the charging stations, regardless of the manufacturer and who was a provider, that were publicly accessible, that was trustworthy, that was reliable and accurate, where EV drivers across Hawaii could go and get information about publicly available charging stations. On top of that, we felt that it was important to have this application for tourists and visitors to Hawaii, so that to incent them to not be afraid to rent an electric vehicle and give it a whirl here in our islands.
Oh, great. So did you think of this or did somebody think of this and bring it to you?
Actually, Margaret Larson, who I so wish was here, she is our electric vehicle specialist, thought about the application and had been pushing for it. When we had the funding, she totally jumped on it, worked with our marketing communications people, Honolulu Clean Cities, HIC Information, Hawaii Information Consortium, to develop this application. It took about 8 months to develop the application. We went through a lot of trials and tribulations.
But you're trying to tell us that the idea came from DBED.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Me too.
Don't you love that, Ray?
Me too.
They're the energy office.
The energy office creating creative stuff. Yeah.
Can I tell you one other thing that I love about this application?
Yes.
Is, as far as we know, it's the only application of its kind throughout the U.S.
I'm having
love
palpitations.
If I had been working in the medical device industry, I had a product for you. But we can talk about that some other time, okay? Yeah, we're really excited about the app, really proud of it. And it's just the first of the types of applications that we have in store that we are developing. And we hope that we can come back to your show one day and show you some new stuff that we're working on.
Oh, absolutely. You must, because we want to see it all. We like when ideas come out of DBED or any government agency. It's really important. I mean, for example, Hawaii Energy, I can't say it's a government agency. Well, kind of. It's a contractor for a government agency.
Right. Yeah.
But so much creativity. Every Wednesday we hear a new story. It's really wonderful to see that.
Well, Sean Word is our communications person that keeps us with the latest that's going on in our business, and she has to go out and find the person that's going to deliver the message each week.
Yeah.
But she does it, and she does a great job for us.
Yeah. Veronica, do you know Sean Word?
I don't. We need to
you
go out
should compare notes
to
with her.
lunch, talk story one of these days.
Come over for a visit.
Think Tech wants to bring people together.
Yeah.
And there's a Hawaiian word. It's Oh. You know.
No, I don't know. But if it means you're paying the bill, I
OOPE. I'll think of it later. We heard it in the last show. It's an excellent word. It means coming together as one in Hawaiian. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anybody knows, they should call us. You want to call us, you can call us at 296-5467. That's our number at KGU. So, you know, I wanted to go from there now. So, Margaret fomented this idea.
Yeah.
And how did DBED execute the idea? You don't have a coding section, do you?
No,
How did you do that?
We had funding from the from ARA. And we used that funding to contract the Hawaii Information Consortium Group, who did the development of the app. We basically provided them with the requirements for the application. They did all the programming stuff that I personally don't know how to do. They gave us some prototypes, we did some testing, we collaborated, and next thing you know, we have a fantastic, fabulous working application that serves the Hawaii community.
And you rolled it out on Friday.
We did.
At the Clean Energy, that was parfait.
Oh, we were so appreciative for the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum for allowing us to, you know, have our press release to announce the application on that day. So thank you so much, Hor.
Well, it's more than just the application. It's a statement of interest. It's a statement of, again, creativity. But describe to our listeners and viewers how this thing works exactly.
Yeah,
So
and I have a question too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Is this part of the cross-examination? I don't think it's your turn yet.
Cross-examination is coming, yeah. Derek, go for it.
Curious who the intended user is too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start there. That's a fantastic question. The intended user is any electric vehicle operator, electric vehicle driver, I should say. And the application is very, very easy to use. The starting point, if you do not already have the application, is to use your handheld device, your mobile phone, smartphone, go to the App Store. This is for Android or for iPhone, thank you, iPhone, the thing that I use every single day, all the time. And you download the EV Stations Hawaii application. From then on, it's very intuitive and user-friendly. You can use it to locate charging stations that are located throughout the state, charging stations that are nearest you. You click on the icon for the charging station, and it also provides you driving directions from your current location to the charging station.
So and it works on GPS. I mean, it knows where you are, it knows where the charging, so it can give you directions like Garmin.
100%.
Yeah, that's great. Now, does it tell you the level of charging stations, a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or whatever?
It provides you that information. It also tells you other information. For example, who's the manufacturer of the charging station. Sometimes that's important for the type of vehicle that you have. If Margaret was here, she would tell you a lot more about that. It tells you if there's a fee for the charging facility. There's a lot of different types of business models. Some of the business models provide for marketing, and so the use is free, and others have you pay. So it also gives you that information.
Oh, so you need to know. For example, we had Volta on the show. Was it last week, wasn't it? And Volta Industries, and they make charging stations like for shopping centers locally. Their model is advertising, so you get a free charge. So you would say that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And so you would know. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who likes free. Don't you like free?
I love free. Oh, but I have another question for you.
Oh, okay.
Just recently,
unleash the genie.
What have you done, Jay?
I was at the theaters and I happened to see all the charging stations were one there, and I saw the Volta's advertising and everything else. But I saw a car that looked like it could have been plugged in, but it wasn't. So then I was, I hear these things. How come that car gets to be parked in that stall, but he's not using the charging station? So, those are some questions that I hear people talking about, and they wonder about those things. So my question to you is, does this app maybe have an etiquette section?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because you don't know what will happen when you're out there.
There are a lot of etiquette kinds of questions for an EV driver. What do you do when you pull up? You're really low on juice, and some guy's got the plug in his car, and he's been there for 2 hours, and all you need is a little bit to get home. What's the ethical way to deal with like unplugging him and you plugging in.
Well, if it's my car and I'm bigger than you, you got to
no
let me
rules
go.
on that now, but it would be interesting if you knew if a charging station was occupied and for how long it had been occupied, because then I'm not going to drive to a place where I can't get service. I want to know if it's available to me. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really valuable.
I completely agree. You know, maybe this will be our generation
That's version 2.
Version
mobile
2.
application inspired by this show.
Well, what it calls for in terms of programming is there has to be a conversation between the server where this application lives and each charging station by way of the internet. I don't know how easy or hard that would be, but that would be the natural progression here.
And I note that the app does have a way for you to tell it if it's missing something or having something located at the wrong location. In other words, you can give feedback and that will be updated. Because I noted that there was a charging station in Kailua that was not on the app, and I understand that you get it put on there pretty quickly.
Absolutely. It has a feedback function to provide exactly that sort of information. Now, on things like, hey, there's this new charging facility that's not on your app, absolutely, that's wonderful. That's one of the purposes of this application, Jay, is to get the community involved. This is for Hawaii, developed here in Hawaii, so that's great. One of the caveats, though, of this application is that as a state, we're not responsible for a lot of these privately owned facilities. So you can give us a feedback. We'll do our best to, relay the message. But ideally, the message should go directly from the driver to the charging facility if, the charging facility is not working or you have a direct issue with it.
Yeah, I think people have to understand that and you should tell us more about this, each charging facility is owned by somebody. It doesn't exist in space.
Yes.
And it's not owned by the government.
Correct.
It's owned usually by some corporation. Ooh. So what kind of people own charging stations? What kind of people offer charging stations? It doesn't sound very profitable, actually. Who puts one in? Hold your answer to that.
Perfect, I will.
Because Derek probably has some questions too.
Okay.
We're going to take a short break, and just to refresh everybody, this is Wednesday. This is Think Tech. I'm Jay Fidel. We're on Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, our Wednesday show, which is organized by the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum and supported by Hawaiian Electric, DBED, and Hawaii Energy. We have Veronica Roca here from DBED. We have Derek Sonoda and Ray Starling, who are from Hawaii Energy, and wow, we are learning a lot today. We'll be right back after this break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
We've got one new accident. It's on North School Street between Nu'uanu and A'ala. Traffic's light overall, but getting busy going west now. The H1 slows at the west end of the airport viaduct. The Moanalua slows at Moanalua Gardens. Inbound traffic from the west is slow from Middle Street to Ward Avenue. No problems to Hawaii Kai or to the windward side, although we did have that accident on Oneava at Mokapu.
With the Kahiava Wind Farm on Maui and the Kahuku and Kawailoa Wind Farms on Oahu, First Wind is pleased to create clean, local sources of energy powered by Hawaii's trade winds. Understanding our unique environment and host culture, First Wind develops projects that support local communities and provide net benefits to native wildlife, embracing the concept of caring from Mauka to Makai. Hukamakani. May the wind blow towards a sustainable future for Hawaii's people. For more information, visit firstwind.com.
ThinkTech Energy Wednesday is also brought to you by Hawaii Energy. Hawaii Energy is a ratepayer-funded conservation and efficiency program administered by SAIC under contract with the Hawaii Public Utilities Commission, serving the islands of Hawaii, Lanai, Maui, Molokai, and Oahu.
Now back to ThinkTech Wednesday on AM 760 KGU. Here once again is your host, Jay Fidel.
Okay, we're live. We're ThinkTech. We're here in Pioneer Plaza, the ThinkTech studios down here. We're doing Wednesday, Hawaii, the State of Energy, at the suggestion of Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, supported by Hawaiian Electric, DBED, and Hawaii Energy. And we have here today Veronica Roca, along with Derek Sonoda and Ray Starling. Veronica is telling us about what DBED's dramatic new app that it's developed and she's rolling out. Very exciting stuff. And we're talking about how all this is playing out. You know, for example, things are changing. You can make all the apps you want, but you got to have them flexible because things are changing. And I suggested during the break that at the end of the day, most people are going to want a fast charger. Faster the better. In fact, remember Better Place?
Yes.
Of course.
Their claim to fame, they're gone now, but
they went on to a better place.
Yeah, they went to a better place.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's good. Poetic, yeah. They had this swap out mechanism they designed.
Right.
And it would swap the battery in the car they had in mind, which is a Nissan Renault. It was kind of a joint effort to build that car. And it would swap the battery out in seconds. It would be faster than filling your tank with gas. And that was very appealing. But it was expensive to have this gizmo in a given gas station or a charging station. I suggest to you guys, though, and we got to figure out how this would affect the app, that if I could give you, Derek, a new battery in 30 seconds, you'd probably want to pay me some money for that. Because that would get you back on the road right away.
So this is, how my friends think. We bought a good battery already. You might have a junk one. I don't want your junk one. Can I have my battery back?
That's true.
Yeah, because
that's a very good point. So. That was the problem with the Better Place thing too. They had to check every battery, make sure it was a worthy battery, and it had a whole history on it. And you don't want to give a new battery away and get an old one. No.
But if it was inexpensive and to the point where
if you set up the batteries to sort of be leased from the company that's doing it, then they're responsible for whether the battery's good or bad, and you just bring the next one, you bring it back, and they give you another one.
And you don't own it.
You don't own the battery.
You don't own it anyway. It doesn't matter as long as the thing works and it's been verified and certified and whatnot. I think this might be the future. Although it's a little cumbersome, it suggests I think it's appealing because nobody's going to want to wait in some foreign location. Away from your home location for an hour or two, whatever it takes to get charged up.
Well, the good thing about Hawaii,
people.
The good thing about Hawaii is it's relatively small, and as an EV driver, you can drive and be almost empty anywhere on the island. You can plug into one of the second level chargers and have enough juice to get you home just about anywhere on the island and spend probably no more than 30 minutes. That's my experience. Where you don't fill it up. You wait till you get home to fill it up, but you just want to make sure you can get home. So you plug it in, and 30 minutes you got enough charge on top of what you came in with, that you can make it back.
That would be a great app. So we all know each other here in Hawaii, and we go to people's home. We borrow stuff all the time. So if I know that Ray's in the area, I'm so going to go to his house and use his charger for free. This local style. You know how you go to the relative's house in the neighborhood, you borrow their car, you eat their food, and then you go home. It was a great vacation. So if I know I'm running low, I'm gonna go to Ray's house because I know where he lives. Does everybody else want to know where he lives? I can tell you. And you just plug in because he got the really good adapter.
Well, he's got the level 2.
Yeah.
I've got the
That
level
would be a
2
great app.
charger, but as I said during the break,
Friends with chargers.
the most of the vehicles come with a level 1 charger. Is it level 1 or level 3? The
One.
110
Yeah,
volts.
one.
No, and you can go to anybody's house that has a wall socket and plug it in, and you may spend a little bit more time there, but you meet some new people and get acquainted,
have a
right?
beer,
While you're
whatever it
charging.
takes.
Yeah.
I love this idea. I really do. I think it allows for additional involvement in the community, additional social networking. This could be like Gen 2, maybe Gen 3 application. And I think you brought up a really good point. I think for electric vehicles, what they require is a portfolio of solutions for charging. A level 1 that you can charge at home, a level 2 if you go to the grocery store, or a level 3 if you're coming back from the North Shore and, oh my gosh, I'm totally out of juice, but I need to be back for, auntie's dinner in time, and I only have 15 minutes to charge. EV drivers need a portfolio of solutions, and we at the state, that's what we're trying to offer them.
Facebook offers the opportunity to stay networked, with people. Maybe there could be a charge book instead of a Facebook, a charge book.
I love it.
All your aunties, cousins, whatnot.
You could have a little
I
symbol
love
on
it.
that thing.
Yeah.
Russell,
I need to write this
We're
down.
creating. This
Charge
is wonderful.
Book.
Russell Castanegro, who is one of the developers of this app, he's an EV driver too, and we already have sort of a community that talks to each other and shares stories, but you could get him working on the next generation app that would allow all EV owners to come together and sort of share, and maybe put different colored icons on there where people have homes, just as Derek suggested.
4 days.
And we're kind of sharing. We put ourselves on the app, willing, if we're there, you come in. If you're low on juice, you come in, you get a charge.
That'd be great.
And everybody who is willing to do that puts their home on the map, on the app.
Sure,
and
on a volunteer
so
basis.
you've got many more
Choices,
dots on the chart
Yeah.
now than you had before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it would create a better community
yes, it would.
as well.
And people would, they would offer that as a community service. So how do you put another charging station on? Do you have to make a call and talk to 26 people to do it, or can you just do it yourself?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I wish Margaret was here because she could give you the nitty-gritty. The Hawaii State Energy Office, we do have on our website information about that. Again, I wish Margaret was here so that she could give you more.
What I'm saying is that, they used to say, plus ça change, plus le même. They used to say that. And what that means in French is the more things change, the more they stay the same. They don't say that anymore. Now they just say, plus ça change. If you want to count on one thing, it's all going to change. So this app, can't be static. There's going to be new charging stations all over town, including family charging stations, anything, there's going to be new possibilities. And so the app has to be easy to change. So talk to Margaret.
I will.
And there ought to be a way where if Ray finds out about a new charging station, it's not on the app, he can not necessarily put it in directly, but he can submit it so it can be put in.
And that functionality is already there. We have a feedback button.
Oh, you put it on feedback, okay.
Yeah. And then we can easily update our database, and next thing you know, it'll appear on the application very, very quickly.
The other thing is that technology changes too. I mean, like I was saying, people are going to want to have charging, third level, level 3 charging stations, and somehow we have to build this into that app so it remains useful as the system changes. And one of the things I was talking to David Jung about just in the previous hour, on eco-cabs, was here in Hawaii, most of the time, it's sunny. The solar guys will tell you that. Most of the time you can get energy off solar, right? So how much trouble would it be to design like a one-panel solar thing that goes on your roof? So it's called trickle charging, right? You're always trickling, always, And short of having somebody rip it off the top of your car, which is a bad thing, it could be very useful to keep you topped off. You leave your car out in the hot sun like today. Wow,
Right.
you know, you could charge that sucker up in no time.
I think that may be something in the future because the panels are getting better, more efficient, more charge per square inch or square foot. But right now, on the panels that I have on my house, each panel, on average over a year, gets about 1 kilowatt hour a day. That's what I can count on. That's now this time of the year it's a lot more. Winter
Is that
months
enough
it's a
to
lot
triple
less.
a car?
It is, but when you also factor in that it takes about it takes for 25-mile commute, I use 8 kilowatt hours.
Ooh.
So it uses a lot of electricity, but it's far cheaper still, despite some of the recent reports from my own experience, far cheaper than putting gasoline in a gasoline car and making that same trip.
Sure. Well, it wouldn't be.
Even if you're paying, even
what
if
does
you're
a panel
paying
cost, Ray? What is it? One. I mean, you know, this is all sort of black box mystery. What does one panel cost? A good one.
It's about $5 a watt now. Okay, and then multiply that. You know, if you want kilowatts, then you're talking. You know,
$5,000 for one panel.
For $5,000 per kilowatt.
Okay.
So this is a great example of why Helen Y goes out and shares the Aloha, because she translates that into something that local people will understand and cause them to go ahead and purchase.
Yes.
She doesn't need to know the details, and most people don't.
I think somebody could come up with this in Hawaii, right? With the land of sunshine, could come up with a little gizmo goes on the top of your car and it's wired into your car, any electric car. And really,
I'm sure the day will come.
Yeah.
Sooner than we know.
I hear music in my ear. I think it's time for a break. This is Hawaii, the state of clean energy. We have Veronica Roca, we have Ray Starling, we have Derek Sonoda. We're here talking about charging stations and, for that matter, electric cars. I'm Jay Fidel. We'll be right back after this break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
The drive to the windward side is normal on the Poly, the Like, and the H3. No problems going east after you get out of the slow traffic in town. If you're going west, the Moanalua slows at the Gardens. The H1 slows just after the airport exit on the viaduct. And if you're coming into town from the west, expect slowdowns as you approach the Middle Street merge on either the H1 or on the Moanalua Freeway.
Think Tech Radio is also brought to you by InmoB. Since its inception in 2007, InmoB has grown to become the world's largest independent mobile advertising network, serving over 100 billion mobile ads to date. It has built its product in parts of the world where the mobile phone is not just a screen, it's the only screen. After launching in the US and Europe in 2010, InmoB has more than doubled its global network from 7 billion to 60 billion impressions monthly, and has offices on 4 continents, in Bangalore, Johannesburg, and London, in Nairobi, New York, and Paris, in San Francisco, Seoul, Singapore, and Tokyo, in Mobi. ThinkTech Hawaii is a Hawaii nonprofit corporation organized in the year 2000. Its purpose is to raise public awareness about the importance of technology, energy, agriculture, and globalism to the diversification and expansion of our economy. We do this by television shows on community television and on OC16, by newspaper articles, and by our ThinkTech radio series on KGU 760 AM. We also do it by panel programs and events, including our monthly luncheon programs with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. ThinkTech, working to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check us out at thinktechhawaii.com.
Now back to Think Tech Wednesday on AM 760 KGU. Here once again is your host, Jay Fidel.
Okay, we're back. We're live. We're Think Tech. We do all kinds of things on Wednesday. Today we're doing charging stations and new apps. But before we finish, I just want to say we're doing drones over Hawaii next Thursday at the Plaza Club, July 25th. We have an expert panel. We're going to talk about the development of drones in Hawaii. You know, the public doesn't know too much about it, but the fact is there's a lot of things going on in the technology, in the law, in the deployment, the strategic deployment, in the business, in the legislature, and in foreign policy implications. So we have a number of speakers who are going to all zero in on drones. Carl Baker, Pacific Forum, he's a frequent guest on our shows. We have Song Choi, who is the assistant dean at the College of Engineering. We have Ted Ralston, an ex-aerospace Boeing engineer involved in autonomous vehicles. We have Avi Soifer from the UH Law School. He's the dean of the law school. He's a constitutional lawyer. We're going to talk about drones. We have Gene Ward from the Hawaii State Legislature. He's a real tech kind of person, and he's vice chair of the tech committee there. And Darrell Wong, a brigadier general. Major general, sorry, general.
He's a major general.
He's a major general.
Major general.
What am I saying? From the Hawaii Air National Guard. So he's going to come around.
He's the adjutant general.
He's the adjutant general of the state. That is
senior most military officer.
Yeah, and a great guy.
Yes,
actually. So this is going to be on July 25th. They're all going to tell us about what's going on with drones and what could and should go on with drones in Hawaii. It's a Plaza Club. You can register at hvca.org. Try come. All right, back to what's going on in DBED. So you have other things going on. Veronica, tell us what they are, because you can make things happen.
Thank you so much, Jay. Last week, we also put out a press release with HECO to announce the arrival of 2 new electric vehicle tariffs, basically 2 new electric vehicle programs. The first one is called EVF, and it is a time of use tariff, but bottom line, what it does is that it makes it more attractive for facility owners to install electric vehicle fast charging stations. The demand charge, which it's not quite an extra charge, but you can kind of think about it that way, is waived. So there's no demand charge for these facilities. This tariff, along with the other tariff that I'm about to talk about, they are first of its kind in the entire nation as far as we know. So certainly revolutionary, and we are leading the charge in the electric vehicle area. The second
leading
one,
the charge.
You love that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. I came up with that on the fly. The second program is the EVU. Also, it's a wonderful program. It allows HECO to install up to 25 DC fast charging facilities throughout the HECO, MECO, and HALCO territories. And what I love about this program is that it brings in the industry. So HECO, for each one of the facilities, is going to do a solicitation to invite the industry to participate and provide their fast charging facilities to HECO.
You love your work, Veronica?
Can you tell?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing about it is we don't have enough. We don't have enough electric cars on the island. We don't. We have the need for it. We have the policy for it. We have some political will about it, but we don't have people buying them. Sometimes because they can't get them. Sometimes because they're not satisfied with the level of technology, you know. I mean, I think if there were better technology, more advanced technology, longer term batteries and all that, it would be different. But we're not making that much progress. There's something less than 1,500 electric cars in the state. Maybe,
a little bit more, actually.
1,600.
No, it's 1,551.
1,461.
1,551.
561.
According
I was pretty
to the
close,
last,
wasn't
yes,
I?
you were.
They track those things.
So,
As of June.
yeah, and you know, I'm a little worried that the incentives for electric cars, you have electric car, right? Huh? So you know that you can park at the airport, but only for so long. You can park free at a parking meter, but only for so long, I guess. And there's various things that are actually, the incentives are actually scheduled to sunset. We shouldn't do that. They should continue
I think
those
it needs
incentives.
to go until it's got its own momentum.
Yeah.
But those are all good things. But most of the people who actually were the first to use the EVs, they wanted to push the technology and not really trying to take advantage of a lot of incentives. Of course, the rebate or the tax incentives.
State tax rebate is gone.
That's correct.
And
Well,
so now you have to, you get a federal rebate,
right.
but you don't get anything from the state.
But now is a good time. I understand the lease rates are fabulous. In fact, as you noted last Friday, one of our former commissioners of the PUC, John Cole, has two electric cars, and
he's a show-off.
And you know, he did it because the lease rates are fabulous, and you get the latest model.
Yeah.
And that's obviously 3 years better than the model that I've got.
Yeah, and it's not just that it's an electric car in terms of its function, you know, and its performance. It's got all these gizmos inside. It is so fun.
Yeah.
It's like being inside a computer. The thing's blinking and winking at you. Everything possible is in there. Even the low-end ones have everything. Veronica, do you have one?
I wish.
Okay.
I wish. But I have the next best thing, which is I walk to work. My job is directly across the street from my home. So
right.
I don't quite need a car.
Well, that's, you know, and I guess we should leave it quickly at that point, with that question, is that if we have rail coming in, and if we have the complete streets with bicycles and walking and, you know, sort of community transportation, a new model, as we discussed on Friday,
Right.
of transportation, which is a very organic, you know, close to personal kind of model that will be more efficient in general. Is there still a role for the private car, whether it's a gas car or an electric car? You want to try that? You want to see if you can give me an answer on that, Ray?
Well, there are places that people, you know, pride themselves in not owning a car.
Okay, wait,
New
I
York
want to
City.
help my boss on this one.
New York City.
This gentleman is amazing. He flies airplanes. And one of the reasons why I understand
That's
people
not very
fly
efficient.
airplanes is that sense of freedom. And, you know, in this country, the car is that logo of freedom. It's that symbol that you can go. And so this empowers people coming over, because many countries don't have that ability for each person to have their own vehicle. But here you have that. That is a symbol that you've made it. So he takes it to a whole different level. He can do loops and everything else, but we can just go on the street. So his freedom level is so much bigger than mine just driving through traffic.
But if you got to have a car, an electric vehicle that's powered by the sun is really pretty, you know, it's not walking, but it's, if you got to get to the North Shore, that's a good way to get
You're
to
doing
the North
your
Shore.
part, you know.
A bicycle trip to the North Shore is going to be tough.
You need a long weekend for that. You
Yeah.
know, I think to add to both of these gentlemen's comments, I think it's important that we provide Hawaii a portfolio of solutions
Absolutely.
to meet their
Absolutely.
needs and to, you know, still give them the opportunity to feel that sense of freedom
Yes.
and that sense of responsibility and contribution towards our community.
Right.
The responsibility part is very important, especially in this culture. As our population ages, I have to be on alert all the time in case my mother needs help or my grandfather needs help. It's just because we need to just go sometimes. But if we have to take mass transit or anything else, we're limited. We're very limited, and as we care more for our aging population, this becomes a more and more important thing. So you get this safety factor, this sense of security that is just monumental, and that's why I think EV vehicles haven't taken off. EV vehicles haven't communicated a sense of safety. So, like, a lot of ladies love lots of money in their bank account, not because they like lots of money, but it gives them security. So just like in a vehicle, they will take a vehicle that is tried and true, on the money every time. It's going to work.
Almost out of time, you guys. Thank you so much. Ray Starling, Hawaii Energy, Derek Sonoda, Hawaii Energy, and Veronica Roca, thank you so much for coming down on State of Energy. This is Think Tech. We'll be back tomorrow with more Think Tech on Thursday. Aloha, you guys.
Aloha.
Aloha, and thank you.
It's been a charge.
That was a long 3 minutes that I was here. I was supposed to be here only for 3 minutes.
You know, change with changing times. It's like David Jung.
And tell Russell to get working on that version 2 of the app, where all the people who have electric vehicles are willing to let another electric vehicle come by and charge up.
I love it. I really do. I think it's a really neat idea.
And I think it gives people that sense of, I can go there and I know these people that I can go to their houses.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
I was only supposed to be here for 3 minutes.
You're a star. No. Too much trouble coming and going, you know.
Always draft your guys into a longer term deal. Well, they enjoy it.
Hey Jay, it was nice to see you.
It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah.